This one hits near and dear to me because Lupe Fiasco is, in my opinion, the greatest rapper to ever live. The greatest all-around personality to exist on the spectrum of rappers ever. From if you look into what he's given back to society, what he's the skill of his pen, what he's put into his projects, his crazy background, his like abilities in other realms, like even in the martial arts and like of anime and geeky culture, and his willingness to put his intellectual capacity on Front Street instead of hiding it for the benefit of sales. Bruh, this dude, he's pro sauce. He's pro sauce. What I really love about Lupe projects is that they're the first projects to feel like a physical item. Like when I bought Tetsuo in Youth, it actually felt like I was getting like a $60 game, something that I could interact with and all that and above. And I don't know how to describe that feeling. I don't know how to. I've never had when I got a new album that I felt as giddy as when I'm getting a new game. Like when Lupe drops, time stops. That's real. Hope you guys enjoy. So just sit back, grab a brew. We're just gonna go listen to some Lupe and go over some lyrics, bro. Let's kick it off.
Have you ever asked yourself where the world is inside the solar system? Like, where are we? Like, where does the planet sit amongst all the stars?
Hey Google, gaming light red.
Who knows? Super brain freeze. But an easier question than that is to ask yourself where we sit in the sea of art history. Like, that's tangible, that's man-made. Man-made art, so the history of it, we sit in. Another, like, sort of framework to dwell on is, like, where do we live? You know, you live in a house. I guarantee the house that you grew up in is what you define as a house.
So that was track number 1 by Lupe Fiasco on this new EP, and it's called Homemade. And that was Virgil. What it seems like the concept of that was, to me, and these are all my opinions. I haven't like researched any of this, or I don't know really what any of this means. This is just my first take on it. It's just man's need to, number 1, it was the definition of what a house means to someone. Like what you think is an adequate abode for you doesn't necessarily translate to another person who might just think their house is where like the family is and surrounded by their opinion of what home is where family is, and there is some sort of security. Doesn't translate to what your house is. And at the same time, the duplicity in that is it does, as we are all looking for a shelter, a house. And I think the second part of that, I think especially in Western civilization, as he was saying, is that like a house to us is surrounded by man-made stuff, like is further from the elements as you can be. As Virgil said, man loves power. So we feel more comfortable the more we can govern the things we are surrounded by. I think that's what I got on first listen. I'd have to delve into that more, but that was good. That was sort of it put me in a this is more of a speakeasy type of experience, not like bar you to death experience. That makes sense.
So where should we begin?
Dinosaurs, bro.
Maybe we should begin at the beginning. Sounds fine to me.
Sounds high to me.
Dinosaurs came in all colors. They were creatures with different features, had teeth to eat you. They made beds called nests and laid eggs after they had sex inside them. Whether they ate plants or meters, how you could divide them. In the Flintstones, they used to ride them with tails particularly good for sliding. But in real life, they probably didn't go down like that. They probably didn't.
Yo. This is what I love about him, though. He's like, he's not afraid to just be creative. Like, this is what I liked about Kick Push. It was a song about skating. I remember everyone was trying to put like double meanings into it and stuff. It was like, nah, just like the skate. I'm about to make a song about dinosaurs, bro.
Bones in the stones, that's if you soil dig. But if you oil rig, they warm up the homes. Power up
if you soil dig, but if you oil dig, they warm up the homes. Fossil fuel, man. See, all right, see, we're getting into that. You're getting into those bars.
The cars in Jurassic Park, it was a zone full of clones. They say they death came from the stars. An asteroid flew down and blowed up the grown. And not just shoot off the stage, but booed off the tour. If they had lawyers, they could have sued some for sure. It gets dangerous. Come hit the museum if you wanna hang with us.
Hey.
But mostly just the skeletons. Now if you wanna use brain case space as a metric for intelligence, then Tyrannosaurus Rex wasn't the smartest of the smartest, but you won one in the box with the short arm carnivorous martial artist. You ain't gotta be the sharpest saw to slice the sausage or the largest ninja star in all of Harlem to carve apart into a target. If we arguing.
Okay. Wait, I think I just got the. All right, so for most of this song, he's been just harmonizing about. It seems like he's just been talking about dinosaurs, like the different facts, and then it seemed like it switched in there somewhere to. It's almost like he was trying to humanize the dinosaur, like they have sex and lay eggs in the nest, and they used to run in herds and all that stuff, pretty much giving a pattern to how these entities lived, right? And then something came from the stars, like you said, and wiped them out. And then that last part, I almost think he's talking about himself. Like, if you want to go to the museum, you hang with us. And pretty much, hey, I am the Tyrannosaur. I'm not the most lethal out of them, but I will still you up. Like how he was saying the Saurus was a martial artist. I think he's referring to himself. Like he's a dinosaur. Like he's a ancient breed. Is he saying that he's extinct or his lyrics are extinct? Maybe I'm reading too much into that.
Sometimes they go by their science names. Megalosauridia or Sauropodomorpha. Whatever you want to call them, whether it be Grimlock, Yoshi, or Earl Sinclair. Just remember at one time this whole world was theirs.
Bro.
Ahoy, kids!
I think the vibe here is that it was humanizing the dinosaurs, that like at any point in time, especially with this pandemic here, we could be done. They were chilling and they had the routines and they had herds and they had species, a bunch of them, and for thousands of years, and then they're just poof gone. This whole thing was theirs. But I still think that Tyrannosaurus Rex line, he was referring to rappers specifically. Because why would you call him the carnivorous martial artist? I got to go back to that line. Man, this is why I said this won't be a typical first reaction, because this is what Lupe does. I'm unpacking, and this is part of the fun. Like, this is like the video game. This is the interactive media, and this is what I like. Is there 2 to 3 meanings to a dinosaur? Like, one, it just seems like he's having fun because he was just talking about dinosaurs. 2, it very seemed like he was humanizing what their patterns were. And then there was that one part with the Tyrannosaurus where I think he was referencing rappers specifically. And then he ended with putting it all in perspective, like this whole place was theirs at one point. It could happen to you.
You know, I could really use a job. Yeah, you could use a job. You know, a job, you could have a good job. Not just any old job.
Crystal Torres. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Crystal Torres.
Any ideas?
Does Sledom mean job? Sleep?
Well,
seldom?
if I may.
Maybe it's a play on words like seldom.
Look, career decisions can be important endeavors. You gotta take your time, not jump whenever the weather feels a little better. Priorities over pleasure. But there's nothing wrong with incorporating some leisure. And other something like your dream occupation, a clean obligation and esteemed operation. You thought of modeling. You thought of modeling. Using your body to sell things.
All right, so I'm not exactly sure where he's taking this. I got no clues from what this is called. I don't know what Sleedom is. He seemed to be talking in a positive note about empowering yourself and doing a job that you enjoy. But the chorus so far, I'm going to listen to the rest. Have you tried modeling and selling yourself? Is like, there's like a negative connotation to it.
On the internet, baby, have you tried modeling? Using your body to sell things on the internet. Have you tried modeling? Have you looked into modeling? Using your body to sell things on the internet. Yeah.
You can do things like tea. You can sell like.
You can even sell me.
Satisfying basic human wants and needs, but it's levels to it. There's many other leagues. You can model water bottles to send to children in need, or for the environment and bring attention to bees with me.
So that second verse definitely seemed to put, I'm guessing the theme of the song is putting a, being able to capitalize on an interest, and especially like the only lanes that are open to you. So for a lot of black culture out there, I'm assuming this is aimed at black culture, aesthetics, visuals, and leisure are a lot of the lanes open to us because we are so creative, or we have capitalized wholly on creativity. And I think the point of this song is to capitalize on it. Like, you don't actually have to just do the Instagram model thing. If you're that savvy with the camera and that savvy with phones and that savvy with technology where you can take pictures and work the algorithm, there are other ways of going about using those skills that aren't wholly destructive to your person. And I guess you use them seldomly or something. Oh, it's models backwards. Bruh, it's models. Oh, okay. So do we have the concept of modeling backwards? Like, are we using the mechanic of the machine to sell stuff and get money for ourselves the wrong way? Every time he does it to me, every time, bro. He does it to me every time.
You know, peep it. Modeling has been historically prestigious. Look at Mona Lisa, model. Michelangelo's cousin even modeled for Jesus. That's from the Bible. Fabio was on the cover of novels.
Lupe is an alien. He is the most gifted lyricist alien I've ever seen. That was nuts.
Men and women of all kinds and all shapes all over the world are sharing their great testimonials of triumphs after receiving our complimentary book. Stand in front of a TV camera with confidence, knowing you have the training to get you started. Remember,
I think this is what I was hitting on. Like, you have the arbiters, people who see themselves as the gatekeepers of the arbiters to selling things pretty much on the internet, right? It's very easy to do because OnlyFans, Instagram, and all these other things exist. But you still have people that want to be like Leor at Atlantic, which is, you're looking to Lupe's history with trying to get out of his deal with Atlantic. You have people who want to be the gatekeepers to that sort of success. Like, they can teach you something that is very straightforward. And all the examples he gave of McDonald's modeling fries and the Mona Lisa, you innately know how to do this. And the selling things on the internet is not that hard, especially with this generation that knows how to work the algorithm. But you have people like this who want to sell you like the book to it, and will artificially make roadblocks so that you have to go through them, which is the music industry. I don't think I read too much into this. I think this is what it's supposed to be. And this is what I like about Lupe putting out art. Like, I could be half right and half wrong, and it could have a whole nother meaning, but I think I'm on to something, bro. I think I'm on to something here.
Inside the books that I bought, got audios and regulars. Quite the party goer and reveler.
So, on today's to-do list is to design a pair of running shoes.
Wait.
Let's just call it black.
Oh.
Yeah. I get applause as I step outside the pop-up. The shop resembles the unfinished house he was in before they shot us. We fell down, then we got up. Pick pock up, pick nip up. This the type of tripping that scuff kicks up. Traditionally, creases was a style to refuse, but now they represent every mile in your shoes. Any mud on your soul gets toweled and removed. It's like I'm retracing every trial, know it took strength. John steps, flowers growing out of the footprints.
So I'm not going to pretend that I got all the concepts that were being discussed in there, but I think it's safe to say that shoes weren't shoes. The makeup of what this shoe was started taking shape, that especially when you start talking about the soles, it started to paint a picture that these were beings or all that kind of. But in the same thing with dinosaurs, in the very beginning, it seems like he's just touching on sneaker culture. I never got into it, so I'm not very aware of how important like the pandemonium around a new sneaker release is. But apparently, as he paints it, it's very important. Then it starts hooking into the attachment and the support for these shoes, and then it starts morphing into shoes are the people. And there's even a line in there where he talks about like the creases on these shoes that used to be rejected against, like you needed the fresh white Air Force Ones, are now a sign of resistance and good things and going the distance and traveling the mile. Or at least Lupe's wish that the culture around shoes would change, or the culture around people that were weathered by society would change. And then they specifically start talking about Aubrey, or Ahmaud Aubrey, who was going out jogging until he was shot down. I'm guessing the tones of freedom and how like he was suspected the worst just because he was jogging when he was just expressing himself. Like, there are a lot of themes in there, and I don't want to get any of them too wrong, especially since they brought up Ahmaud. So I'm gonna leave this one alone, but I highly suggest that you give this a visit and not only listen to Lupe's verses, but listen to what Virgil's speaking on these spoken word type rips. 'Cause that was heavy. That hit me, and I forgot even that I was. I think you've noticed that I forgot that I was recording because, bruh, I don't know.
Yo. I got this beat off Twitter.
I got this beat off Twitter.
First, I took a screen record. Went to GarageBand. Then I had to export the QuickTime file.
Talk to him.
For audio only. Then I dumped it in the band. Looped it up. Hope you
he is giving you game that if you're creative out there, how like there is no excuse. Like, go out there and do something, bro.
Live from the scene like a news crew as you view the ship shape carnival bar. Even the crews knew who's who. Prove 3, that's what you'll do when there's nobody else left to prove to. Verge, right?
There's nobody else left to prove to. And he said he's a carnivore. Like, I'm pretty sure that Dinosaur track was talking about how lethal he is, and the world. Oh, the world used to be theirs. Oh, see, it levels.
Right, Lupe on my Lupe. We go back like Just Blaze made beats for the two-way. Back then, I used to do it for the hoorays. Last night, I posted up a pic of me, Cole, and Toure. Lyrical stickler. Young Riddler from Chicago, the Midwest, they don't get no middler. That Last Dance looking Mike, Judge Mathis look-alike. Kid and play at that house party. Just know that my foot is
Judge Mathis look-alike. Do they have similarities? Yeah.
And if you didn't know me, call me Rap Anthony Fauci. That blackity grouchy mouthpiece. Ramadan breath, prayer rug pointed at Saudi.
The black Fauci, grouchy mouthpiece, bro. I like how he's aware of how the public sees him, and he don't give no fucks.
Stay in the house.
Facts. That was Lupe, bro. That's all day. Like I said, I feel like I'm gonna go through this 3 or 4 more times within the next couple days, and then I know there's going to be that moment where I'm cleaning or vacuuming something or wiping something down, and a bar is going to hit me a different way where I'm going to get a different meaning of what he meant. And that's what I love about it. It's like, it's the only music that almost feels tangible. Does that make sense? Like, I don't get that from anyone else but Lupe, which is why he's my favorite. It makes music thought-provoking. It makes music fun. It makes everything about it is a present that keeps on giving. If you listen to Tetsuo and Youth, it's literally, it will keep on giving you something new. It's like every time you listen to it, it's like a re-release of the same album from a different perspective. Because I guarantee you, once the initial way that you took the album wears off in about a day, another angle makes itself present. And it's, I don't know, that was dope. It was more of a speakeasy type vibe. Like, I'm glad I like got into my chill bag right now. That was more of like a let it just wash over you. And those are the projects I love the most. Lupe, you're the best to do it. I hope someday, I've only gone to like 3 shows, and I hope someday I get to like at least shake your hand. I know you ain't dope on the public, neither am I, so we cool. I get it. I just like to appreciate from afar. Listen to this album, listen to this project, listen to it as many times as you can. Get some perspective on life and where you are in the world, bro. Lupe, the greatest ever. I'm out.